Welcome y'all to another episode of the Presidential Executive. What's going on? This your boy right here, JB. This is my brother over here, El Presidente. Rag. What it do, my brother?
What's going on, Doc?
Oh man. We live, man. You know,
I know if you keep looking at the screen, like you
I
making me
keep-
nervous because it's like, but I know what it's been the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, so I'm just like, we're gonna roll with it. So, y'all go ahead and like this video right now. You watching this on replay or just live, go ahead and like this video right now wherever that you stream podcasts. You know all the things, and also it's not Google Podcasts anymore. It's
changed it.
It's YouTube now. YouTube has its own podcast stream type service.
So it's not Google no more.
So it's not Google Podcasts. It's pretty much like YouTube.
So it's Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Stitcher.
Yeah, so everything else pretty much the same. Yeah, man. So glad to be back on stream, man. Glad to be back on live. A couple things. One thing I do want to get into a little sports. I know you're a busy guy. I know you don't probably maybe get a chance to watch too many sports as much as you would like.
I would like.
You know what I'm saying? Or hear about it or whatnot. But we know. Well, this is the only time of year I pretty much watch baseball. The World Series. The World Series is on right now. It could be over right now, but the Dodgers playing the Yankees,
right? Mm-hmm.
And the Yankees up, I think 6-4. And the only reason I bring that up because one of my homies that help EJ coaching baseball, he's from New York. He's a big Yankee fan. So this is the only time I really watch baseball. To me the baseball is really different this time of year anyway. The intensity is up, just like playoff anything. You know what I'm saying? The intensity up. So yeah, shout out to that, man. I'm actually kind of enjoying watching it, even with EJ watching some of the games and stuff like that. Actually, before he hit the bed.
Yeah, and as of today, like you said, it's the top of the eighth.
6-4 still, right?
Yeah, it's still 6-4 Yankees way. And wow, but still the Dodgers are up 3 games to nothing. No.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. They win tonight, it's a sweep.
Yeah,
they win tonight. It's a sweep. So, but yeah, with the baseball, then we know with the hoops. University of Memphis basketball kind of started a week or two ago. They had their second exhibition game the other day. It was on ESPN Plus. They played against Alabama. I watched a little bit of that. Alabama is pretty much like the number 1 team in the country coming into the college basketball season, and we didn't look good. Penny, I don't know if he's just not showing his hand right now or whatnot, but we have new coaching staff. We got Nolan Smith that used to be coach for Duke. Mike Davis, he's on the bench.
Mike Davis used to coach
Indiana back in the day. Went to the national championship game with Jared Jeffries and them.
Right.
And I don't know the other ones, but it's a pretty much a clean slate all the way around. So, but we got talent, of course. Penny always gonna bring the talent, so I'm interested to see how that's gonna look. And with the Grizzlies are I think 1-2 right now. We played Chicago. We played your team the other night in the Forum. End up losing a 20-some point lead, and I think the Bulls They hit 25 threes last night. So that was interesting. It's still too early to pinpoint, but Ja's back. Jaren is there. We're still missing Vince Williams. He's still out. Cam Spencer, the rookie. Luke Kennard, and I think one more person.
Jr. actually played good.
Yeah. I like Scotty.
He's like, I want to say the backup point guard.
But
he's been playing good.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the thing, like, as much as who my team is, it's like it's not one of those things where I'm running cutting cartwheels because I'm from Memphis. I'm a Memphian.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I love the Grizzlies. I've kept up with every team that the Grizz have had since they've been here. It's been times where because of area, I've known more of the Grizzlies roster than the Bulls roster. Just because we don't really get a lot of Chicago games and stuff like that. So, for me, that's just me being a diehard fan of my team.
No.
But, at the same time, it's like, yes, I want the Grizzlies to win. For me, a dream finals would be if the Bulls played the Grizzlies. It's win-win for me.
All right.
But, on the flip side, I believe the Bulls are 2-1.
Yeah,
the
something like that.
Are 1-2,
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see Lonzo back.
It's good
and
to
they've
see
been
that.
kind of easing him, in. They haven't been just, they're trying to make sure he's 100% before he just gets back into the starting lineup. But he certainly makes the Bulls look better. And I want to say I like the center that the Grizzlies signed.
You talking about Huff?
Yeah,
the white boy Huff,
yeah,
number
yeah,
30. Yeah,
Jay Huff.
Yeah, he's a 7-foot tweener. He can block some shots, but he's a real good 3-point shooter. He got a little 20 in his game. He can do a little hook shot here and there,
right?
Stuff like that. So we actually signed him to a new 2-way contract,
right?
Not a 2-way. They took him off the 2-way contract and put him on a standard NBA contract. Right. So I think,
and he's been averaging for the 3 games. He's been averaging like 13 points a game for 3 games. So and that's off the bench.
Yeah.
Because I want to say I think they've been starting Edey.
They've been starting Edey, in which he need to get more acclimated to the NBA game, which we kind of figured that because I think the other night he played maybe 15 minutes and had 1 rebound.
Right.
And that just can't happen, even as a rookie. But it's still early. I'm still kind of fickle about the rotations Taylor Jenkins put out there. The other night, Jaren only played 24 minutes. Ja didn't play at all. So I'm just, the way I look at it, if your starter is playing, he at least got to play like 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? 28 to 30 minutes. Just to, if not, you just sit him out. If your star power forward, former All-Star, Jaren Jackson is not going to play, 25, 26 minutes. And then the Bulls, on the other hand, probably play Levine 30, 35 minutes. Vucevic probably played some around there too. So, if your other stars on the other team are playing like those minutes, to me, you got to kind of stay with them. Right. You know what I mean? A little bit.
I think, though, like you said, though, with a 20-point lead, that's probably why, you take them out, we up. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to. Because, obviously, we went through that with D. Rose. It's like, we're up 18 with like 2 minutes left. Why is he in the game?
Yeah.
Still versus Philadelphia when he, messed his knee up and it was a playoff game. Like, but again, like I kind of understand your point, but I'm just going to assume that that's what it is. I'm assuming that it's like we're up, so let me sit guys, if we can coast, and then once the comeback is coming in, it's like, okay, we got to put guys back out there.
I just hope it's not a trend.
But I still think in the West, I still think the Grizzlies, they're gonna be all right. I think the Grizzlies gonna be all right. And with the Bulls, I just hope my team. I hope we stay healthy.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be good, man. It's too early to make any definitive statements. You know what I'm saying? But early on, only reason I bring up the lead because we've lost the games we lost already. We've been up 20 plus. You know what I'm saying? When we lost to Houston, and then last night against Chicago, but. Like I said, the coach still kind of learning new players and rotations and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But now to the, my Cowboys did play your 49ers this past weekend.
I wasn't even going to say nothing, man.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm free. You know what
I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not, but me, I'm not one. I'm in the moment.
Yeah.
So, like, just like when we lost to the Chiefs, like, it sucked in the moment, but then it was like, okay. Yeah. We got net, but now in the moment that was good. But now I'm looking like, okay, Tampa Bay's kind of rolling. We got them next. So like us beating y'all ain't gonna mean nothing if we get our ass kicked by Tampa Bay next when we play them next.
Yeah, y'all gonna beat them for
you know what I'm saying?
They too injured right now.
Right. We are too. We the most injured team in the league. But I'm just saying, like, I don't. Because of the rivalry, it's always good.
It's always,
but not so good to where I got to wake up. For the next 3 days and be, like I'm just not lost in it like that.
Yeah, and I said what you made a post. I was like, I was more messed up that Debo and Jordan Mason went out the game because I got them on my fantasy team.
Oh yeah.
And so I lost my fantasy matchup because I needed 3 more points. And so Debo was out. I think Jordan Mason went out second quarter or something like that. So other than that, Dak is Dak. I think Dak looked too relaxed. He looked too relaxed. I think during the bye week, everybody got a personal life. He proposed to his fiance on the golf course.
Congratulations to Dak.
Congratulations to him, right? But it's like I'm kind of from the old cloth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking like you need to be kind of like this dialed
laser
in.
Focus.
You know what I'm saying? You already kind of been fumbling the ball, literally and figuratively. And so it's just not. I just don't. He looks very comfortable for getting that. Life-changing money, which you can't blame him on the other side. But it's like, it's not all his fault either. We know Jerry Jones plays a big part in that and not really being competent in filling out the roster like he need. Well, getting the key pieces in the roster. He can fill out a roster, but getting the key pieces. So it is what it is. We're 3-4 now. My thing too, I looked at it. Maybe Jerry will start paying attention once the house is on fire. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We start losing some in a row, but I think right now we really kind of focus on the division. So that's why Michael Parsons ain't playing and other people like that. So and Bland is out still. So once the division start ramping up, we'll kind of see what we're going on. But it is what it is with that. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Congrats to them 49ers for winning that. You know what I mean?
How about the whack-ass Chiefs getting DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah, I saw that, which made me even pissed off at Jerry because everybody making moves. You saw Baltimore made moves today. I don't know if you saw that.
They got the wide receiver from Carolina,
Deontay Johnson. They got Deontay Johnson.
Then we didn't talk about this last week, but then Devontae had went to the Jets. Which, I mean, right now, it ain't looking like it's going to help them out none. But
yeah, they
should have went. You should have reunited with your boy Derek Carr. You should have went to Dallas. You should have.
See something, bro.
Well, I want to say, because wasn't Dallas one of his 5 teams?
Well, he had 2 preferred teams. It was
the Saints and the Jets.
The Saints
Those
and the Jets.
were the 2 preferred, but
now,
he
Dallas
had 5.
Dallas was in there.
And we was in there.
49 was in there, too?
Yes, it was the Jets and the Saints were preferred, and that's because Derek Carr was his college quarterback.
Yeah.
And they actually were good in Oakland, and he was very pissed off when they traded Derek Carr. Mm-hmm. It's like, y'all don't get no O-line and y'all don't have no defense, and y'all mad because he can't help y'all win.
Yeah.
But he was mad about Derek Carr. Then Aaron Rodgers, of course, is like, so this guy got me to the NFL. This guy's done made me a Hall of Famer, so as long as I'm with either one of them, I'm good. But if I can't go to them, and I want to say, well, Texas ain't got no state income tax. So it's like, I want to go to Dallas or San Francisco, which he's a kid from Fresno. Mm-hmm. So like that's been in my backyard. I grew up a fan of them. That'll be a dream. And number 5 was it was a contending team. It wasn't KC, but it might have been the Bills or something. But it was somebody who was contending.
It was the Bills.
Oh, okay. So, those were the 5, and so like he should have went to. He should have definitely went to either Buffalo, San Francisco, Dallas.
Yes, it kind of. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like you hate the term "misery loves company," but Jets fans and then us being as Cowboys fans, you kind of like it is somebody out there worse. Got it worse than what we got because Aaron Rodgers. The
Browns.
They cater. Yeah, Browns are the Browns.
And I want to say, but Jameis actually did.
No, Jameis was killing. No, Jameis was killing last week. I think he had 335 yards.
Oh, yeah, no, Jameis gonna throw that jump
against. He gonna throw it now. He not, like 1 week he'll throw 4 touchdowns. Next week he'll throw 5
So would
picks.
you rather have Dak or Jameis?
Oh, give me Dak now. Give me Dak. Let's not get ridiculous now.
I'm just saying though.
Well,
now y'all only got. If you got receivers,
yeah.
I would say give me Jameis. Jameis is a receiver's dream, like Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a receiver's dream.
Yeah. Now, but
Stroud is a receiver's dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like Jameis is like they gonna chuck that jump. Now, I think he overchucks it.
Definitely. That's.
But I will say since he hadn't thrown a lot of interceptions with Cleveland yet, has he?
Now this is first year with Cleveland.
No, I mean I'm saying, but he's been in some games where he's had to get in because they pulled the shine out, and I'm just saying for the time he's got in, he hadn't been throwing a lot of interceptions yet.
No, he ain't throwing any yet that I know of.
I feel like that year that he played behind Drew Brees, he kind of worked on a lot of his. I don't want to say because it wasn't his mechanics.
No, mechanics is cool.
He just feels like he can make every throw.
True.
He is so confident. And did you see the interview they did with him before the game? And he kept saying, laser focus. God, we be like, it was but he feels like, I could, like, he got 2, like, where our camera's at. It's 2 defenders right there, and he trying to get it to where that ring light is, but he feels like, I can get it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I like his confidence.
I love his confidence now. Like people will be making videos about him, talking about how he talked when Deshaun Watson went off in the cart to how that wasn't cool, and he spoke his piece about that, which he spoke real well about that. But he do like they ain't got nobody else in Cleveland now, so he gonna start chunking that thing.
Oh yeah, because they traded Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
But now he does have Njoku.
Yeah. That's his ride or die.
They got another receiver too, though.
They got Tillman. They got Elijah Moore.
Tillman and Moore. Right.
Yeah, they got them. But
he got enough.
He
decent. Just got to make good decisions with it.
Yeah, once Chubb get back. Well, Chubb is back.
Yeah,
Chubb is back.
That'll help.
And Chubb get back.
So if y'all could make, first of all, do you feel like y'all season is over?
No, I don't think it's over with. Honestly, I think it's too early for that. Plus, like I said, it's really about the division. Mm-hmm. We still undefeated in the division, even though we're still now 2 games outside of first with the Commanders winning on that Hail Mary and then Philly winning. So we're still just 2 games out. So it's not.
So y'all are ahead of the Giants.
We're ahead of the Giants,
but y'all behind Philly and Washington.
We're behind Philly and Washington. So it's pretty much we got like they got a 2-game lead on us. So it's not over. It just don't look good because we're last in the league in rushing for a reason. And so, I was telling, I don't know who I was talking to, but I was like, if you looked at our running back room 5-6 years ago, with Zeke and then Dalvin Cook, and then you know what I'm saying, like it would snap. But
with the people that y'all
the people we got
it was
now
5 years ago. Because that's what I was gonna ask. I was like, but y'all do got Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if this was 2019,
so what positions do you think would make a difference to help you all seasons? That's the first question. So answer that question first. Like what 3 positions do you think that y'all need to make an adjustment or a change in that would help?
That's easy. Definitely running back, wide receiver, and edge rusher.
Okay, so realistically, what 3 people do you think that y'all can get? And it would have to be a realistic, like a team would have to be willing to let that person go.
Yeah.
What 3 people do you think that y'all could get that would make a difference, that would help this season? So you said running back first, so start with
running back. Go get Alvin Kamara from the Saints. Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna really do too much. If you're talking about wide receiver, before he got hurt, I was thinking about Christian Kirk from the Jaguars.
Oh yeah.
But he out for the season now. He broke something. Right. I think his ACL or something. But go get like a solid dude, like you know what I mean. Think of somebody like on a losing team. I mean, go get. I don't want to say him, but somebody just like a decent number 2 because we know CD is our main dude. We just need somebody else to take the pressure off him, which we don't have there right now. Okay. So, you can throw in any type of number 2. You can throw in T. Higgins would be the number 2, but he still would be with us. But somebody like a Tyler Boyd or Ridley from the Titans or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Somebody of that caliber that can really take the pressure off. Then the edge rusher, shoot, I was thinking of Reddick from the Jets, but he just signed. He just signed back with the Jets. So, but we have the edge rusher. It's just we're so hurt. Mm-hmm. We lost one in training camp before the season started, and then D-Law's out for 6 to 8 weeks, and then Micah been out for another couple weeks. So, but at the end of the day, man, I said burn, baby, burn. You know what I'm saying? Let's burn it down. Let's see what Jerry gonna do with it. Because look, all the season we 12-4, 12-4, 12-4. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of get entitled, feeling like, oh man, we're just we just losing, we just a piece away.
The football got it's just if it lands, if we get a catch or a tackle or a stop,
right? And it's not like that. And so hopefully, I obviously I want to win, but at the end, it's like sometimes we don't learn unless we, you know what I'm saying? So that fire get up on us.
I mean, for me, for the Niners, I feel like, and I've been felt like this. Now, Belichick, it was reported that basically he was offered a position with the 49ers. And Kyle Shanahan basically told him, like, you can do whatever you want to do on the defense. Yeah. You can be the coordinator, you can be the special, but he didn't want to do it. I would have done everything, and Rex Ryan actually, he let him know, like, hey, I'd love to go to San Francisco. Why the hell we ain't get Rex Ryan? Could you imagine a Rex Ryan deep? Like, come on. But for me,
that would be dope.
Because again, like us, we're on our 4th string running back. People don't understand that. It was like, oh no, Jordan Mason was actually our 3rd string. McCaffrey been out. Our 2nd string was Elijah Mitchell. He ain't played at all. Neither him nor McCaffrey's played at all. And so, like, Jordan Mason was our 3rd string. Gorindo is our 4th string.
Gorindo nice.
Yeah, no, he is.
I like him.
I
ain't gonna lie to him. Even though,
he's more of a home run hitter, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a bell cow back. He kind of reminds me of a bigger version of Chris Johnson.
Yeah, because he run like a 4.3.
Right.
I think he run like a 4.3.
Real speedy.
Yeah.
But he's not that, breaking tackles type of, you know what I'm saying, bruising type of back. But he's a home run hitter.
Yeah. He nice though, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I would have loved to have gotten a DeAndre Hopkins, just simply because Debo's not that. He's not a CD Lamb in terms of he's not a Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's not a Devontae. You know what I'm saying? Debo is the perfect number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, we could have had a Devontae on one side or DeAndre on one side and Debo, you know what I'm saying? I would have even taken Amari. But I feel like this is a slept-on pick. People done forgot about him because he was suspended at the beginning of the season. I would get Michael Thomas from the Saints.
Is he still playing?
Yes, he was suspended. You remember he got he's suspended at the beginning of the season for that. He had an off-field altercation, and they suspended him for like the first 4 games or 6 games or something like that. But he's just not activated with the Saints because they don't want him, and he don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But he been suspended. I feel like for a possession receiver.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you talk about somebody got good hands, good feet, possession. So now you got to cover him because he's a big receiver.
Yeah.
So now that means Debo, Kittle, and then Pearsall actually look pretty good, coming in. So you get a guy like that elevates. I mean, if we can just get another running back healthy.
Yeah.
I've said this from the jump. I feel like Eric Gray needs to go to a team that prioritizes the run. I would love to have Eric Gray on San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? And I said what I said. I was saying that, before he got drafted, I would look in a Kyle Shanahan offense. Yeah. I would love to see Eric Gray in the Shanahan offense.
I would love to get any running back at this point.
I know, right?
For us, it's like
y'all definitely.
It's looking like I hate that we let go TP.
Y'all should get what's the name?
I hate that we let
y'all
go
should
TP.
get from Miami.
Talking about Mostert?
Yeah.
You talking about Mostert?
Yeah.
I can see that. I would be okay with that.
I mean, between him and Dalvin and Zeke, y'all could get, you know what I'm saying, a first and a second down to a first, another first down.
Yeah, I would get Mostert. I would like that. But right now, I'm like, we should not let go of TP if this was going to be what we had. Or if we didn't draft anybody. I at least thought we was going to draft somebody for a 5th round or something and get something out of it. But
and I would love to see another slip-on guy. I would love to have Jadeveon Clowney.
Jadeveon, he's with Seattle right now.
Panthers.
Is he with the Panthers?
Yes,
okay.
He's with Carolina.
Okay.
I mean, but I'm just saying, like, him, Bosa, I would love to, like, Earl Thomas ain't on nobody's team, but he ain't retired yet. Mm-hmm. Go and bring Earl Thomas back. Put him back there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would look, like, it's some guys out there. Oh, Jamal Adams. He ain't doing nothing. Like, I would love to have a Jamal Adams, but like I said, I feel like we need a better defensive coordinator. So this is going to be interesting the way the rest of the season pans out.
It's definitely going to be interesting. But I think y'all are definitely in a better spot once y'all get C-Mac back. Because the running game, like I said, the running back is not as valued now.
Right.
But what they do to the game, it frees up the play action. It frees up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those deep routes and stuff.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But Purdy, prior to that last game, he was 3rd in the NFL for yards.
Oh, word?
Like for quarterback. Like he was 3rd in total yards.
Okay, interesting. I didn't
You see
think
what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like, Um. So I mean, like how you said, when you got that running game that opens up the play action, it makes and to me, I feel like that would help Dak out with y'all.
Definitely.
Yeah, because he's got to, and so they know he's got to throw it. So it really don't matter. Like you said, Dak is gonna Dak, but it don't matter because he can't hand it off to nobody because that's worse than him throwing it.
They know what's gonna happen.
You see what I'm saying? And then 9 times out of 10, at least 90% of the time he going to CD or he's looking.
Looking that
that's
way.
the first read.
Yeah.
So go on throw it. Yeah. We got y'all. Go on throw it. Yeah. We'll live with you getting 200 yards. You know what I'm saying for the game. Because we gonna get a lot of sacks. We gonna get a lot of quarterback pressures. We're gonna get a lot of pass defended. We may get an interception or 3. So go on throw it.
Yeah. Nah, it's real because it's gonna be interesting. But to answer your question, I'm not given up on the season yet. No. Give me about another 4 or 5 weeks, and then we'll you gonna know it for you gonna know you won't have a choice. Yeah, give me about 4 or 5 weeks when we in week 12, week 13 or so. But all right, this next topic here, you want to go and talk about this statue, or you want to? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know, and I don't even want to say all the people because you're normally the one who posts all the stuff.
Yeah.
But for everybody that we've seen, I heard Antoine Walker.
Yeah, I saw him.
Delroy Lindo.
Yeah.
The guy sent Roger Aaron Brown, which is you don't know the name, but you know the face.
Don't know. Yeah.
Because you've seen him in some of everything. He's been in some of everything, movies, TV shows. He's that guy. That guy in that movie.
Yeah.
But if y'all follow me on Facebook, I posted a picture of him on my page, and I sent you a picture of him. But anybody that's got that picture could be me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That. I don't know what they was thinking. Somebody put a meme up on IG, and it was the Lionel Richie video where the blind lady had made the statue of him. There you go. And she was like, "This is what I see you as," and that was the way D Wade was looking when they unveiled the statue. And that don't look like D Wade. Nah,
it's some a couple other people too that said it looked like. They said it looked like Lawrence Fishburne when he was I forgot what picture, maybe it was Boys in the Hood or something like that. When he was making that, you know what I'm saying? It was Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. And then I know you saw the picture when they made the dude, the trainer, Apollo Creed's trainer in Rocky, throwing the towel. That's my movie. I'm a Rocky buff, especially Rocky IV. Rocky IV. That's my movie.
He dies.
Yeah, the black dude.
What are you doing?
But the thing about
Duke, that was his name, Duke.
Duke. Okay, yeah, okay.
Duke. Throw the towel in, Rock.
He was, that show was his name, Duke. But it's and before even looking at this, D Wade said he was with the person that did the statue through the whole process. So they had some photos of him while they were making it. So which is confusing to me because I'm like, I don't know which look he's going about, right? It's some cool stuff on the statue because he got his mom's name on one shoe, his dad's name on the other shoe, his deceased agent, you know what I'm saying, got him on. So it's some cool stuff on there, but we just talking about the face. You know what I mean? He looked like a 65-year-old D Wade and prime D Wade, morphed into this Monstar Space Jam, type figure. You know what I mean?
65.
He do. Look at his face. It's. I said, man, I'm D Wade, this Wade County. I'm thinking but if he cool with it, hey, it is what it is. But it's just you just think that, he deserved better than that. That it look that it look remotely like him. You know what I mean? So, and then another thing they said he looked like Thanos. You know what I mean? When he putting when he yelling in all the Marvel movies. Yep. Yep.
I mean, with that chin though, with that chin, he do look like that. I can see the Thanos,
you see it. You can see it.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked straight up like Thanos, man.
That man looked like John Henry.
And then the one,
Matter of fact, the dude that century he played John Henry in the movie.
He did.
Roger Aaron Brown played John Henry in the movie.
Wow. Now the one thing that really hit me when I almost spit something out, they had him and the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz back to back. You know when he doing the look, yeah. I was like, yeah, man. It was crazy. Then they put his head on his actual body when he was in the getting married to Gabrielle Union. You know what I'm saying? When he was doing that, then they put the same thing in there. So yeah, man, like it's a cool moment, man, for anything. Just a gesture to have a statue, put in front of a stadium that you used to play in and stuff like that. So it's a good thing, but it's just like I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who. All the years I remember seeing D Wade playing, like I don't recognize it, and so you know what I'm saying. Like, but at the end, like to have your statue out there and all your accomplishments behind you, it is what it is. Man.
I mean, so like, how do you feel? And this is related to it, not necessarily related to Miami, but they were saying that Penny was like, Memphis needs to have a statue of Zebo.
I saw something about that.
In front of the thing. I don't. So let me say this.
Now he did say that. They said Penny did say that.
Penny was quoted as saying like now, but I don't know if he actually said it. That's what the article said.
Okay. Interesting. In front of the forum.
Right.
Okay.
I don't believe today that Memphis has anybody that deserves a statue. Now jersey retirement is different. Oh, that's in the arena. When you look up, reminds you of, maybe a few seasons or, like we had some playoff runs. So, like, you've got the core grit and grind 5, you know what I'm saying, if you want to say. But, like, when you look at some impacts can't be measured by the numbers. I feel like it's a travesty that Tony Allen should have been an all-defensive player every year.
Yeah.
Especially when he was with the Grizzlies. Yeah. At least second team. Mm-hmm. He should. You can't tell me it was another guard better than him defensively. You know what I'm saying? And you talk about guys like Kobe, like they like, oh, the hardest person that defended me was Tony Allen. Mm-hmm. Even Kevin Durant 6'11". This 6'4" nigga guarded me better than somebody 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
So he should have been on there. But so you could say Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, Zebo, Tony Allen, and who am I missing?
That's the core 4.
Oh, the core 4. Okay, so what?
That's
okay.
Mike,
So yeah, because we alternated
Tony,
between Tayshaun
Gasol,
Prince and Rudy
Randolph.
Gay, and so it's the core 4. So now, if you want to have those 4 jerseys retired, I would even argue and say for the first 6-7 years of his career, Powell. You know what I'm saying, for what he did here. Right. All-star level player.
Yeah. But I think if you're gonna make a statue, I did see the headline of that article. But if you're gonna put a statue, I think you got to put all 4 of them, like in a collage.
Right.
You can't just put one.
Like that. Like the military joint where the people putting the flag in.
Yeah. Have all 4 of them up there.
But I don't feel like, because like you look at Wade, Finals MVP, had a Finals before LeBron, but 3-time, champion. Played in 5 NBA Finals because they lost 2. With the Heatles, they lost 2 of them. So he played in 5. They won 3. He won 1 Finals MVP. Like you see the stats up there. Like he was an All-Star so many times. First team All NBA, second team All NBA, first team All Defense. Like Hall of Famer. Like even with the Grizzlies, we don't have numbers wise the closest person we have to being in the Hall of Fame. I would say probably is Zebo, if you want to look at numbers. But the fact of the matter is he was never an All-NBA guy.
Yeah.
He did make an All-Star team. I mean, he made a couple of All-Star teams.
He made an All-NBA team for the Grizzlies. He was like a 3rd team.
Yeah, okay, but that's what I'm saying. Right, but you like that one time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like no all-decade guys. You know what I'm saying? So like when you talk about statues, I think potentially But again, some of it is accolades. I think potentially Ja could be that.
For sure. That's what I'm about
I
to say.
think potentially Jaren could be another one.
Potentially, yeah.
Because, he's already gotten the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He's already, been an All-Star. So you're talking about multiple All-Stars. And when those numbers start adding up and you're in the top 20 of points, you're in the top 20 of rebounds, you're in the top 20 of blocks. Okay, well, Jaren, Ja, are you going to get an MVP or two? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to play in the finals? I don't even necessarily have to win like AI. You don't necessarily have to win.
No, you ain't got to win.
But can we get to that mountaintop?
Yeah, yeah.
We ain't got to plant the flag down. Can we get there? Mm-hmm. And so, I just feel like I think a lot of Memphians, unfortunately, it's a good thing and a bad thing, but we are such homers that we get delusional.
Yeah.
We love Memphis so much that we get delusional and we accept mediocrity from our people, whereas we hard on everybody else, but we get happy because somebody that played for a Memphis team or from Memphis made it in the building.
Yeah. Yeah, and two, I think the statue stuff is getting too much. I think too many people got statues. Everybody don't deserve a statue, bro.
Sacramento shouldn't have anybody out there.
No, they shouldn't. I get Reggie Miller has something outside of whatever the stadium called out there in for the Pacers.
Right.
And so I get that, but like you said, I don't think Zebo should have one. If anything, you should have a collage of the core four. And then have a little saying or phrase, the grit and grind, because that's where it started it all like that. I can see something like that. But to put just Zebo out there when, like you said, league-wise, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to start putting statues up for people that made an impact to the city, you're going to have to start with somebody more, before even Zebo. You know what I mean? So I think we need to just pause, kind of halt a little bit with the statue stuff, because I think it's getting a little too often that a lot of people are getting these statues or wanting these statues. But for us, for Memphis right now, the person that should get one is Ja at some point.
So let's do something fun real quick.
What you got?
So I'm gonna call the team out, and you tell me if they should have one. If not, if some more people. Some of these teams already got statues out. When I say the team name, you tell me if they should have a statue out there or not. All right, Boston Celtics.
Definitely.
Okay. Anybody in particular? You ain't got to go down the whole list, but just anybody that stands out.
Larry Legend, McHale.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Bill Russell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Have the check. You know what I'm saying? So that's just right there.
Brooklyn Nets.
Negative.
New York Knicks.
Oh, definitely the Knicks. Definitely the Knicks. Frazier. What's that?
Earl Pearl.
Reed. Willis Reed. Those are the two that really stick out to me. Those are the two.
And they won championships, yeah. And I would even dare
Patrick Ewing.
I was going to say you can make an argument for Patrick, but outside of that, no Melo.
No.
No, none of those people that played in the, all right, Philadelphia. I mean, they got one for AI, but
oh yeah, Julius, Julius, Wilt Chamberlain. Those are the two that come to mind straight off. Charles Barkley, of course.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley, yeah, Charles Barkley.
All right, Toronto.
Of course, Vince.
Okay,
that's it. Well, you can make an argument for Kawhi though. we can
one
make
season shouty.
Hey, it was a hell of a season.
The championship, right?
It was a hell of a season.
All right, of course the Bulls are, and I want to say Chicago was the first one. I think it was either Chicago or LA, but I know Chicago had one of the first ones with Jordan with the statue.
Pip could be.
But I would say definitely probably Pippen should be.
Pippen should be.
Those should be the two.
Pippen should be.
If nobody else. All right, Cleveland.
Well, we know who about
Bron,
Cleveland.
right? Yeah, definitely.
Bron, but and also, I mean that's kind of for diehard basketball fans like Mark Price. Mark Price was he's on the edge. I get put him in there.
Mark Price is not in the Hall of Fame yet.
No, is he? No.
So to me, as good as I don't know that they even played in the conference finals. I know that they played in the semis, but they could never get past
Chicago.
Went
to the finals.
But they never played in the conference finals.
Yeah.
Now he was to your point, he was a multiple-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Very underrated. Like when they be talking about plumbers, I'm like, y'all obviously did not watch Mark Price play. Believe it or not, Steve Kerr had a little handle on him, but that's another story for another day.
And he was ahead of his time, I think. Mark Price. You know what I mean? As far as his style of play.
Mm-hmm. All right. Obviously, we know what about the Pistons?
Oh, yeah. We know Isaiah Thomas. Chauncey and them. Yep. He put Chauncey, Mr. Big Shot, Rip. You know, Ben Wallace. You know, all them defensive player of the years he won.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so definitely you mentioned Reggie Miller with Indiana, so we know they at least got one person. What about the Bucks? Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah. Loose Alcindor. Oscar Robertson.
I was going to say, who was his point guard? Like,
Oscar
definitely those
Robertson.
two. And they actually did bring a championship. That was their first championship.
Then, of course, the Greek Freak.
And I would say those three.
Yeah, Greek Freak. That's
Definitely those three.
Yeah.
This team also has somebody out there, and in my opinion, the only other person would have been way before our time. But the Atlanta Hawks, they got Dominique out there.
Dominique for sure.
The only other person I would say, and this was when they won the championship, is a white guy named Bob Pettit.
Bob Pettit. That was back in the 50s.
That's the late 50s or early 60s.
But he won back-to-back MVPs.
And they won the championship.
Bob Pettit.
Because they actually got past Boston in the East, and they won.
Yeah. Those are only two, though.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? Let me throw this out there. Like, let's stop putting Bill Russell in the GOAT conversation. I'm going to say why. It was only 16 teams in the league.
Right.
And only 4 teams from both sides. So 4 teams total, not 4 teams from both sides.
Right.
It was 4 teams total that made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, 4 teams from both sides. So basically, you're playing the semifinals and the finals, and then the NBA finals.
Yeah, it's just totally different.
So
then you're playing with like 9.
You see what I'm saying? So like, so it's only 8 teams total in the playoffs.
Yeah.
4 from both sides.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you're playing every team played each other between 6 to 8 times.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so like when you say that it wasn't no other league. So you know what I'm saying? You're playing the same teams. It was also a regional draft, which meant you could pick the best players from your region. You didn't it wasn't no like, okay, we gotta get what we can get.
Right.
Well, no, they play in this region, so we get the draft. So like imagine you getting the draft Penny and Chris Webber and Jason Kidd and Grant because they all play on a certain side. You know what I'm saying? That's essentially what Boston was doing, which is why they got so many Hall of Famers. So, and I just said that because we're talking about Atlanta and them beating Boston when Bob Pettit, would have been the Finals MVP because they weren't doing Finals MVP then.
Now I want to say this, as you kind of brought up Bill Russell, because he's never in the real GOAT conversation. Real GOAT conversation, that's like your top 5. You know,
it's only like 3 or 4 guys in there, anyway.
Right? And so he's never been in that for me, but he's probably the greatest winner. But I look at the analogy saying like it's not apples to apples, but saying somebody like an Angel Reese, let's say Angel Reese wins like 10 championships, has all the rebounding titles, block shots and stuff like that. But we know she's not that,
she's not the one.
She shoots like 40-some% from the field. Like Bill Russell, even at that time, looking at his field goal percentage, he's towering over everybody, but still shot like 40% from the field. You know what I mean? Obviously with the block shots, but his overall game, you can never say he was the best player. He was the best winner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Probably in history of basketball with 11 chips.
But I was gonna say, and that's only because he played on all of those teams.
Yeah.
You had guys who came later that didn't play on all of those teams.
Yeah.
But on 8 of those teams, they said Havlicek would have got the MVP for 8 of them.
Oh, no doubt.
And he led them in points, steals, assists. Like second in rebounds, like second in block shots. Like he was that guy.
Hundo.
You see what I'm saying? Then you had guys like Casey Jones, Sam Jones. You had other guys, like you got Hall of Famers all across your roster. You got guys that made it in the Hall of Fame as coaches that played on that team, like John Thompson for Georgetown, was Bill Russell's backup.
Yeah.
Don Nelson that used to coach Golden State, he was one of the players on the Boston teams. Like when you look at some of the guys on their team, like, oh dang, he played for Boston. it's dudes that's coaching you didn't even realize played for them Celtics teams that won. Like, you had dudes that knew the game, and so they're calling you the best winner, but that's like saying Robert Horry should be in the Hall of Fame because he got 7 rings.
No.
Now, don't get me wrong. Bill Russell is definitely top 5 center of all time.
Definitely.
One of the greatest players. But, like, when you talk about the GOAT,
yeah.
And like I said, the only reason we segued into that because we were talking about, like, Atlanta had to overcome Boston in order to win an NBA championship with Bob Pettit, who should also have a statue. This is a team who I don't think nobody should have a statue out. Charlotte Hornets. What say you, JB?
No, but
anybody who held up a standard for at least 5 years.
Grandmama
didn't play 5 years in Charlotte.
He didn't play 5 years.
He got traded to New York.
He didn't play 5 years.
He got traded to New York. You got to remember. I want to say it was his second or third season he missed because he hurt his back. So now it might have been 5 total, but one of those seasons he didn't play because he hurt his back. And did you see his interview that he did with All the Smoke?
I saw clips of it.
And so he was saying it was like his second or third year that he hurt his back. And he said after he hurt his back, he said he wasn't that guy no more where he was running and dunking. He said he had to change his game up.
He did.
He said, so that's when he said I had the fundamentals, shoot the ball. I had to work on my defense, my pass. And he was like, I wasn't that. He said all my dunks and stuff was like from my first and second year. You know, and so he's got just as many memories in New York as he does.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't the
that grandma month. But he spent 5 years, though, in there. But it was, he had
I don't say, but one of them he ain't played, but like.
He played, his third year, he played 51 games. His third
how many
year,
he played in the second year?
82.
So he played, how many played in his first year?
82.
So then he went from 82, 51.
51.
Fourth year.
81. Fifth year, 81.
Okay.
Then he went to the Knicks.
So it was 5.
It was 5 total.
And how many years was he an All-Star on those 5 years?
2.
So you see what I'm saying?
He was 2.
Like.
And Rookie of the Year.
Right. Now, don't get me wrong, but.
Yeah.
Never a conference finals.
Right.
Never an NBA finals.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know that he was an all-NBA player at that time.
Yeah, he got an all-NBA team his second year.
Was what, second team?
Second team. He was second team. Like, I was just saying because if you remember, we was like 12, 13 years old.
No, everybody had the
like that was like, and we in Memphis, like you know what I mean. So he like took over like
everything. Everybody had those Charlotte Hornets jackets,
the starter jacket. Tommy had the jump,
like it was certain people, the Michigan jump. Like everybody had certain.
Yeah.
I mean, my only thing with that is just like sometimes we get caught up in the cultural impact.
Yeah.
But realistically, like you didn't move the needle. It didn't translate into wins or championships or even personal accolades. I mean, I would argue that when you look at all NBA teams, all stars, and I know a lot of people don't like the guy, but Gilbert Arenas got more all NBA appearances and all stars than Larry Johnson. You see what I'm saying? But nobody would say that Gilbert Arenas is a Hall of Famer. And I love Gilbert, but I've said it on this podcast. As much as I love No Chill Gil, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Even though, if you look at some of the numbers, if you look at some of the accolades,
he had 3 or 4 great years.
You see what I'm saying? Like, right. But when you look at the total career, and that's all I'm saying, like Larry Johnson, essentially you did the same thing in the playoffs Gilbert Arenas did. Second round. You know what I'm saying? You only got 1 All-NBA team. Gilbert got 3. You got 2 All-Stars. Gilbert got 3. You see what I'm saying? Like, now you were a little bit more exciting, maybe.
He should be in top consideration, I think.
But we talking about statue.
But statue. He would be in consideration. But I would say no.
So now this team, okay, this team has one person already. Obviously, we talked about the ridiculousness of how he looks. Does anybody else need to be statue in Miami besides D-Wade?
Yeah. Lonzo. I think.
Lonzo Mourning. Okay, Lonzo. Okay, yeah, definitely Lonzo Mourning.
Lonzo Mourning, because if you look at it, we know he played those years. I think he spent about 3 years in Charlotte, Then he went to Miami. They
Right.
had all them great years, 60 wins,
Yeah,
60
he
wins.
played in a couple of conference finals.
Conference finals. And then he won the chip in 06.
And he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Won the Defensive Player of the Year.
So definitely Zoe. I think Zoe need to be in there.
Wizards.
Wizard/Bullets, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, definitely the Bullets.
Yeah. So
Wes Unseld should be out there, but that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe Earl of Pearl Monroe.
Yeah, but West, that's it. That's all I can say.
Denver.
You said Denver. Well, we know
Jokic is gonna get one.
Jokic gonna get one, but I'm talking about like past.
That's it.
Alex English. I think because you look up his number. Alex English was killing. Now they went to a conference finals or two when they played against the Lakers that year,
right.
back in the '80s and stuff. But I think Alex English deserves some consideration with that.
I would say consideration, but to me, if he don't get it, I understand.
Right.
Jokic definitely
For
3-time MVP.
Yeah.
Two-time MVP.
No, he 3. This past year.
Oh no, he
3.
went back to back.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so
it's
3-time
3.
MVP.
He 3.
He does have a finals, and he brought a championship to Denver, and he got finals MVP.
Yeah.
He got to get one. Minnesota to me only got one.
KG.
That's it.
KG.
Now, not to say Ant can't before it's over with.
Yeah, before it's over. If he stay there.
Right.
I don't know if he's going to stay there.
OKC. Which I guess if you count the
Seattle
Supersonics,
too.
then yeah.
Well, if we count the Supersonics, then you already know GP need to be up in there. If you put GP, probably got to put Sean Kemp in there
I feel like
as well.
the statue should be GP throwing the alley oop too.
I think that would be perfect. That would be perfect. Now we talking about OKC, KD. You got to put KD. You got to put Russ in there. Triple double. So those 4.
Yeah, I would say that's it. I mean, now again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander possibly could get there.
Yeah, he do. Okay, now even old school looking back, Lenny Wilkins, they won a chip.
Oh yeah, with Seattle, right.
Him and Buddy, that was with us with the Celtics.
Oh no,
the point guard, DJ.
Yeah,
Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson, Lenny Wilkens won the championship back in the 70s. So Lenny could definitely be up there because he was a multiple time All-Star, then turned coach.
You know, Lenny Wilkens in the Hall of Fame as a player and a coach.
Yeah. So
I get that.
Yeah, Lenny. I can see Lenny up
Portland.
I
only got 2.
You got to have Clyde up in there. You got to
when
have
they won the title. Who they had?
Walton.
That's it.
But it's somebody else, though.
I mean, you could say Dame, but I don't know. Did they ever play in the conference finals?
Nah, they. Well, no. Yeah, they did. They got swept. They got swept by the Warriors. I don't know what year that was. It was. But I think they did. I gotta look that up. But I think they did make a conference final.
Definitely Walton, definitely Clyde, Dame on the fringe.
Dame on the fringe. I'm thinking it was somebody else too. Nah.
I feel like Brandon Roy would have had the potential, but he
for sure.
Healthy.
Yeah,
all right,
definitely.
Utah, only 2.
Course Malone, Stockton.
That's it.
What about your boy Pete? No, but he did most of his damage in New Orleans or something. No, but he did
New Orleans,
New Orleans Jazz
Utah.
though. But he was killing.
Right, but it's like, to me, he was never with one team long enough to have that impact. His Hall of Fame stuff is basically because he spent years with New Orleans, with Atlanta, and with New Orleans Jazz was the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah,
and I want to say is Atlanta, is New Orleans, and who else did he play for? He played one season with somebody else, I think.
Boston.
Oh shit, he did.
He played with Boston.
Right.
So yeah, he played 4 seasons with Atlanta, and then went to New Orleans for 6 seasons. Then ended it. Then New Orleans turned to Utah. He played for them for a season. Then the same season he went to Boston.
Right.
And then that's when he retired. So, but
so he might be on fringe.
Yeah, he'd be.
But it's definitely Stockton Malone. So we already know.
Yeah.
Golden State has at least
3
people.
3. Hold on.
Wilt, way back.
Philadelphia Warriors.
Right.
Steph.
But then no, before that, there was Philadelphia, and then they became was it San Francisco Warriors?
San Francisco,
like
yeah.
Because that's actually when he won the title.
Yeah.
He won it when they went to.
You got to put Clay up in there.
Okay, so you got Clay, you got Steph, you got Wilt, maybe Draymond. Draymond's on the fringe.
He's on the fringe. But though, what's another dude? Dude had the George Jefferson. You know what I'm talking about? Nate Thurman.
That played around the time Wilt did.
Yeah. Now he was killing too. He was undersized center at the time, but
Clippers have no one.
Clippers.
Man, yeah, the Clippers have been a joke. They don't like.
You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it.
Nobody has been with them long enough to get it. Second of all, they never played in the finals or anything like that. All the guys that they've had have made more significant impacts with other teams, except for maybe Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
But Chris Paul's impact was felt more in New Orleans. Was felt more in Phoenix.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
I mean, and that's it. Like, DeAndre Jordan was good, but not great.
Blake Griffin, but you can't even say him though.
We not even gonna dwell on this because we already know they got some, and they got a lot of people that could. The Lakers, which is obvious. Phoenix.
Now, KJ, Kevin Johnson. Okay. I think Kevin Johnson should. You can make an argument for Charles Barkley too.
It's a travesty that Kevin Johnson is not in the Hall of Fame.
He's not?
No, because first of all, he's only he's in a rare list of people who averaged 20 points and 12 assists in a season, which he did a couple of times. I know he made at least 5 All-Star teams. He was an All-NBA player more than once. You could argue in the 90s he was one of the top. At one point, he was one of the top 2-point guards.
Oh, definitely.
But he was always in the top 3.
Yeah.
You know, you could argue between him and Jason Kidd and John Stockton, take your pick. You know what I'm saying?
Connie Hawkins. He played for Phoenix back in the day. Remember Connie Hawkins?
Yeah, but he made more significant impact with other teams. But you're right, he's a Hall of Famer. Hawkins is a Hall of Famer.
Hawkins, I think, should probably maybe be in there possibly too. But that's about it.
Sacramento doesn't have anyone. Because we could say Weber, but
that's my guy.
They had a good run.
That's my guy.
But
that's my guy.
You know, we already know Dallas got Dirk. Luka will have one.
Luka definitely gonna have one.
Houston.
We know.
Dream.
Hakeem. Hakeem.
I mean, you could argue. I think Harden is a fringe guy.
Who?
He put up Harden. Yeah, he put up great numbers. It didn't really result in anything, but he did have great numbers for that. It was a good time to be in Houston when Harden was there.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Harden. I'm agreeing with that.
Definitely. We already talked about the Grizz.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. As far as that team, like you mentioned it, CP when he first got to that league down there. Plus, you know, it was a Hurricane Katrina and stuff.
Right.
You know, he was number 2, I think, in MVP, right behind Kobe. I think his second year in the league down there. Double him and Tyson Chandler. So I would say CP, and that's it.
All right, last team.
Yeah.
Which obviously I think they got 1, but they should have at least 4. San Antonio.
Oh yeah, definitely San Antonio. You got to have the Iceman. I think he.
Okay,
I don't know if he got one.
That's 5.
I don't know if Iceman got one. So you got Iceman. You got the Twin Towers. That's 3.
Right.
You
point guard
Tony, and then
guard,
Ginobili.
I forgot Iceman.
Yeah, Iceman.
I was gonna say, of course, David Robinson.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. But then when you said Iceman, I was like, oh, Icewood, yeah.
We had our Memphis State guy on that team. Played with Larry Finch, Larry Keenan. Yeah, he played with Iceman back in the day on that squad. But
when they was in the ABA.
Yeah.
They were one of the teams that came over in the merger. Was the Nets, the Pacers, the Nuggets, and the Spurs came over in the ABA merger.
Yeah. And he was killing too with Cleveland. He played for Cleveland. He made a couple All-Star teams with Cleveland. Keenan.
Okay. I was like,
he played with Keenan
too. San Antonio And he played his last 2
Chicago
years with the Bulls, right?
Chicago, yeah.
But no, yeah, Larry Keenan did play for Cleveland.
Yeah, Larry King did that. Okay, I like that. Now let's get into some of this Lil Durk situation. Now, maybe you can
Shout out
explain
to
it.
Lil Durk, who played as one of the cousins on Power.
He did,
Ghost, Power Book 2 Ghost.
and he made the theme song to Force. To Force with the jump with Tommy. You remember that?
That's his song?
That's his song. If you go back and listen to it, that's him.
Oh, yeah, because he's from Chicago.
Yeah, that's him. That was him. So, now this is from what I heard. Maybe you got more information because I had to look it up because I saw all the headlines. All I saw he got arrested because DJ Academics first brought it up that I saw. But Lil Durk got arrested or still allegedly for a murder for hire, right? A murder for hire, and his homeboy OTF Jam is indicted. I don't know the right word to say indicted, but he's the one that told on him all the year because he's been wired up ever since he's been out of prison. He spent 12 years in prison, I think, for a murder charge or attempted murder charge. And so he got out. They were family. And so he's been an informant the whole time, being around him. And now they have years of recordings of him just being around them, just saying all type of stuff. And so, and I think the murder for hire, I think, is for when they murdered Quando's cousin.
Quando Rondo.
Right, Quando Rondo.
That was with like the whole King Von situation.
Yeah, because he the one that killed King Von. Quando was.
Right.
And so they were trying to, what the reports say, they were trying to kill Quando, but instead they got his cousin. And so now Lil Durk in jail, and it just ain't looking good because if you got an informant, and that's the crazy part about it, like this is your homie, right? And they got an old interview that's going over the internet now, and then he was just talking about how when he first got out of jail, Durk gave him 50 grand or plus some more stuff, right? And so it was just like this dude was right under his nose. He was talking about how much he down for him, and you know we go back years and years. That's my dog, you know, and it just happened to be your dude. And I don't know if you saw the Breakfast Club interview with 50 Cent today, and 50 said he warned Lil Durk a while ago to check the people around him because certain stuff happened. Durk said somebody pulled up to his house unknowingly, like, how this dude get my address? Like, I don't give my address to nobody. Right. And so somebody just pulled up. And so it's just another example of
keeping it real goes wrong.
Well, yeah, that too. Keeping it real goes wrong, but then also it's just when now you got to watch your folks around you. You know what I'm saying? Not only watch your folks around you, but if you doing dirt, if you still in that lifestyle and you still, you know what I'm saying, in the streets, you know, whether that's murder for hire or just, you know what I'm saying, hanging on to your homeboys, like, you probably got to be a lot more careful in how you moving and how you know, vetting other people. Like, if I got a dude that came out of jail murder for attempted murder, first my thought is like, nigga, why you out? Like what happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you get bumped? Did you do a course in there? Did you get out? Like, I'm happy to see you. Don't get me wrong, but nigga
if you in jail for murder, you're not getting bonded out because of good behavior, nigga.
Like why you out, dog? Like, I'm happy to see you. Don't, you know, I pay for your books. You know, I send money to you every week. You know, but why are you out, nigga? Like, why? So
I mean, I think, man, this nigga wearing a wire.
Wire, man.
Like, it's over with.
And you know, man, it had to be one of the sophisticated wires.
Take a plea deal.
Yeah. He gonna have to do something.
I mean, because essentially, murder for hire is basically they have him on. It's like me paying you, AJB. I need you to take care of this for me. But the whole time you're wearing a wire, and so it's like I'm hiring you to do some shit, and you got me on there saying I want to get rid of somebody, and the whole time you got me dead to rights. So I can't say like, oh no, I'm not, like, I'm saying You know, like essentially, like you know what I'm saying. Like this is the R. Kelly tape of wire situations. Like this nigga done got in the camera and said his social security number. You know what I'm saying, and what his address was. Like
it's like coming in, like having a regular conversation. You come into the man cave, you going to Dirk house or whatnot. You coming, hey man, we still gonna get this nigga Quando. He's like, we still, hey man, what we gonna do? We still gonna go. We'll go over here, and it's just like you just coming in, starting conversation. I don't know if you saw Drewski made like a video about it. He did, how he was with him. He had a whole wire out. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, you still selling coke? You know what I mean? Da, da, da. It's just like when you have people like that around you, man. It's just, especially when you live in a dirty life. Dirty life meaning like I ain't even talking about the rap stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You just out there.
But
when you outside.
Yeah, when you out there like that with Durk and them. And then they brought up the old interview he had on $1 Million Worth of Game, where they were warning him to let it go. Mm-hmm. All the beef he had with him, and them killing King Von and stuff like that. And Wallow was talking about how he had to let go somebody murdering his brother or something. How that was the hardest thing for him to do. And Durk was pretty much like, yeah, man, that's real, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's real, man. I you know what I mean? He was just kind of shaking his head, and so.
I mean, like, all I'm going to say is like, and again, I have been around some situations. It is certain things that I talk about that I've done or been engaged in, but that's only because the statute of limitations allows me to talk about, when I walked out of Kroger or Walmart with some stuff I didn't pay for. Like, I can talk about it, and again, it was what it was. I did what I was doing, and if it want to come back, whatever the consequence is, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. But like it's other situations that I was around, I was present, I saw some stuff. You'll never hear me talk about it. As far as I know, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, don't need to talk about
it. Cause I ain't got to worry about nobody wearing a wire. Cause I'm ashamed that I was in that environment. I'm ashamed that I was around it. So I don't want to relive that, rehash that, tell no story. At the same time, it's certain things to where if I was going to do something, I'm going to do it myself. Or the person that I got to do it, they got like stage 4 cancer. You know what I'm saying? And they like, man, take care of my kids or whatever. Yeah. Y'all be wondering why I got so many god kids and stuff like that. It's because I might know somebody that has stage 4. It's like, hey, look out for my folks. What you need. And they did whatever, and they're not here to talk about it anymore. And so every once in a while, if we outside and I got a beverage and you see me pouring something out, don't even worry about what's in my cup. It's my cup. Yeah. What my guys say, if it's heroin in my cup, it's my cup.
It's my heroin.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but again, like these guys, and especially this culture that we live in now where everybody's clout chasing, everybody's clickbaiting, everybody wants to brag about what they did and who they did it with and how gangster they are and how rough they are. One of the realest gangsters in the game is Uncle Luke. You don't never hear Uncle Luke talk about shit he done done. Mm-hmm. I ain't never heard Jay Prince on no damn album.
Right.
But everybody regards Jay Prince as... Because the people that really about... You know what's funny? We never heard Puff talk about how many people he'll get rid of and take out. Mm-hmm. And we finding out this nigga is a career criminal.
Oh yeah.
But you never heard Puff. We used to think
Organized
Puff was soft.
crime.
We was wrong.
No, yeah.
It might not have been Biggie. Like, oh, Puff was the gangster the whole time.
Just like Whitney. Everybody thought Bobby Brown was that.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Whitney was the one who introduced drugs to Bobby Brown. Because all he did was smoke a little weed and drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
He never and what would he say? Do I look like I smoke crack? No, she's like, baby, I'm too rich. I snort coke. I don't smoke crack. What she say? Crack is a poor people's drug.
Yeah.
And she was basically telling, no, I snort that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and heroin is another expensive people's drug. They like in heroin, you can snort, you can drink, you can inject it. Like you can let it smoke and you can ingest the fumes.
Yeah.
That's an expensive people drug. Whitney was telling you, nigga, I don't smoke no rocks. It's either cocaine or heroin.
Yeah, I'm too good for this.
You see what I'm saying? But it's like, again, you got people who, especially now, like to tell on themselves. They like to talk about who they did or what they did and who they did it with. And then when they come back, and my only thing is when you get caught, when you on that wire, everybody want to act like, oh, the government trying. No, nigga, you got yourself. You got you. It ain't because you black, it's because you stupid.
I still wonder, bro, like, the type of money Durk was making. Like, he was making, like, he had his own label, had a lot of endorsements, hand over fist. He was a CEO and an artist.
Right. And then he started moving into the actor space.
In the actor space, too. And so he had so many streams of income, and it's like, but we always talked about this. This is like the mind manipulation that the industry, they look for these type of cats. You know what I'm saying? So they make money on them, and so now they feel that they have to continue that facade up or continue their street life up, or he can't rap what he rapping about, or he won't be real. And so, and I think with T.I. on a couple podcasts, or even maybe on the Breakfast Club interviews, he was just always talked about how he got Jeezy out the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because Jeezy was trying to do both. He was like, nigga, ain't you doing both? T.I. like, nah, bro, I let this go. You know what I mean? I had to choose one or the other, because when your name is on this flyer to be at this club and you got street beef too, nigga, that's a straight invitation to get got.
Like, we talked about this when it happened, but the guy Fulio,
okay, yeah.
But he got killed at his birthday party. But he was on Instagram, IG Live. Y'all inboxed me for the location. And so it was a chick that got the location, but she was cool or messing with one of the dudes that shot him, and then so she gave them the location. Yeah. And they came and
in today's time, bro, I think hopefully a lot of these young cats are really looking at it, because if it looks like you're getting away with stuff, they watching you, dog. If you look at the whole Young Thug situation, he was doing stuff like that. They don't just get you. They wait for some years to get you, right? It ain't even like, okay, we got him right here. They'll wait like years and years for you to continue to get, so they can continue to get like more receipts. And so I think they did that with Durk. We know they did that with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like years. Yep. Like this is 2024, but they were probably back in 2017, 2018 gathering information until whenever them brother we were talking about for the liquor and alcohol was like, okay, yeah, this nigga tripping.
Oh, Diego.
Yeah, Diego. Let's pull it out right now. So I think a lot of these cats, man, obviously it's a deeper conversation, but like with Durk, it's like it caught up with him. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff that's caught up with him. Exposure season. And he even had a verse on one of his songs that people were putting out there on the internet that he pretty much said it was called Fed Nightmares. He had a verse in there talking about it was going to be his homie snitching on him and why he was going to get in prison. Literally. Like it was like what we was talking about. I think what Veli put out something, it was a while ago, asking why Pac must have really had a conversation with God or something about why he died. Or, he knew he was going to die at 25. But as you said, it's like, no, he was speaking over his life. He was telling this stuff. And so even when you look at Durk, look at some of his old songs. I don't even listen to Durk like that personally. I can't say that I do. Obviously heard a lot of his songs before, but, folks prophesying over their own life.
Right. Should stay with Dage Loaf.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think that's a very underrated thing. I mean, like, we don't understand the power that words have over us, the power that our own, when we speak stuff, the power that it has. Like, if you look in the mirror and tell yourself you that nigga, you that guy every day, you might not think it does anything, but when you walk out your house, let you get a new hat, let you get some new shoes. Yep. Let you get some cologne that smell like you cologning, nigga. And you done looked in the mirror and said, I'm that guy. When you walk out, you're going to walk with your head going to be held up a little bit different. You're going to have a little bit more pep in your step. The great primetime Deion Sanders, what he say? You look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, you get paid good. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, like, when you tell yourself you look good and then you're going to start trying to do stuff to make yourself look good. When you start looking good, you're going to feel a certain type of way.
Yeah,
when you feel a certain type of way, well, now your confidence level going to be on 10 when you talking to that chick at the club or at the party or wherever you at. You see what I'm saying? And then when that start happening, you start getting the results of that. So if you're trying to get a girl, you finna get that. You're trying to sleep with her, that's finna happen. You're trying to be some status, that's finna happen.
Right.
And that's ultimately the same thing. So now if I'm an artist, I'm always talking about somebody trying to kill me. I think I'm finna get caught. I think somebody's snitching.
Feds looking at
you see what I'm saying? Well, now I am I'm giving those spirits authority when I'm speaking that out. I'm inviting them to come and put some stuff into play in the maneuver. Just like when you waving them crystals or that the shit you smoking around, you're inviting them to come in.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The people who play with them spirits, they lighting them same whatever up and they using them same crystals to invite them spirits in. So, as the Messiah said, how a demon gonna cast out a demon. The same stuff that the witch invited them in with is the same stuff you using to try to keep a barricade or a barrier. So why you got to do it every day if it's effective?
Well,
just saying. That's a whole nother nothing for something else. But
yeah,
I mean, again, and like you said to him with that song talking about the feds, like, and but the thing is, you're saying that, and you're probably doing stuff. You start putting into action stuff to either help or expedite the process of what you're doing.
And that was the thing. Like that seemed like that's the difference between a lot of younger cats today than the dudes we grew up with. You know what I mean? Like we knew T.I., you know, when he was talking that stuff, but you know that's what he used to do. He wasn't in the street and trying to do what he do at the same time. Like, and
he had a moment though where he was carrying all them guns and shit where he was still and like how he told you I had to leave it alone. It's like.
But then you have these cats today, they feel that they have to, you know what I'm saying, that they have to carry the guns and do the music and do all this stuff at the same time. And so I don't get it, bro. I don't get how you get exposed to that type of money, that type of corporate exposure and dollars. And I think even Durk got a Grammy. I think he got a Grammy too. So, you know what I'm saying, you got all these accolades. And
did he get nominated or did he get?
No, I think he won. I don't know what. I think he won the jump with J. Cole. Did he? I think they. I don't know, but he got a Grammy though. I'm not.
Nah, I want to say no. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah. But he got a Grammy. I want to say,
though. Was it just a nomination? Oh,
he won the jump.
No, you are absolutely correct.
Was it with the J. Cole?
So it wasn't just a nomination. He nominated and won.
Yeah.
For All My Life.
Yep. With J. Cole.
And he actually was nominated because he was a part of the Donda album.
Okay.
Laugh Now, Cry Later, he was nominated. For Laugh Now, Cry Later. But yeah, no, he actually got the win in 2024. So you're right.
Yeah.
He won win in 4 nominations.
Yeah. And so when you have that type of cachet now, not only you're a CEO, but you're a Grammy Award winner. Like I said, you getting your resume up with the acting job. You know what I mean, made the whole theme song for Force for 50 Cent. And so now, not only you in good with 50 now, he got a whole studio down there in Shreveport, Louisiana. So now you know if he got a role for you, he gonna plug you in probably. So it's just, yeah. But 50 did say in the Breakfast Club that he did warn him about the people around him and how he probably need to be moving, but it's, you know, too little too late. But like you said, but we in the 2024, everything's still getting exposed. You know what I mean? And so, and I ain't even, you know, we about to end here, and I am ready for the election, all this stuff to be over with. Because honestly, I'm tired of talking about it.
That's why I'm still at work.
What's that? What you mean?
Political mail.
Political
mail?
mail?
I know, so you ain't got nothing in your mailbox with like vote for this person.
Yeah, like local people though.
everything must
Yeah,
go.
like local people. Yeah.
Ain't no do it tomorrow. Ain't no it's dark.
Oh yeah.
If it comes out that day, it has to go, because if it doesn't, they will say it's collusion. They will say that somebody is not trying to get our stuff out or whatever. So if it like it ain't just that. Like, it's them little cards that be like, if you get something for the voters who stay at like anything like that's all considered political. Even if you look at the thing that we normally do is,
they paying for that
stuff. You
stuff.
probably noticed this. Yeah. You get your mail, in the corner of it, you'll see something that say first class. Mm-hmm. First class will be like from your bank. Like if you ever got your income tax check mailed to you, it'll have a first class thing on there. If it's something official, a certified letter you got to sign, like all that's first class. Mm-hmm. That stuff you have to get. Then you see stuff that say pre-sort standard. Pre-sort standard, even though it might be something you open up, is considered junk mail. So even though it may be from like an insurance company or whatever, it's got your name on it, but it's not an official thing. Like, if you disregard it, you're going to get in trouble or you miss something. Like, they might be trying to sell you something, or they might be trying to let you know about a deal, but you can junk that. And then you have the stuff to say non-profit organization. So anything that say pre-sort standard or non-profit, you can throw away. Even if it got somebody else's name on it, like let's say the person who used to stay here, you ain't got to get it back to your mailman. You can throw that away. Cause like that's what's gonna happen if they come back and pick it up. If you put the flag up, they come back and pick it up. That's all we gonna do. We gonna put it in a thing called UBBM, which is basically the BM is bulk mail, but it's just like an unidentified, bulk mail. We put it in a thing. They go through and recycle it. But like if you throw it away, you don't have to give it back to your mailman. You can throw that away. Pre-sort, standard, non-profit, trash. First class, even if it ain't yours, send that back, because we might need to try to get it to who it belongs to. But if it don't say first class, you can trash it. If it ain't first class, it's trash. Remember that.
Yeah.
But like with the political, some of it had pre-sort standard on it, and some of it say non-profit. But that's different. That got to go. We got to deliver that.
Yeah. So all along, I'm ready. Actually, I early voted today, so I'm ready for all this stuff to be done and over with. It is what it is. Obviously, how I feel about the situation, but it's gonna be interesting. And so I do still think, we still need to start stocking up, though. I think people need to start. We already been getting some stuff like, just because either way it goes, I can see, what I'm saying, stuff that's kind of going haywire. You know what I mean? Like, I got a person across my street has a Trump and Vance stuff up, in their yard and stuff. And so,
and even though you don't have it in your yard, y'all get along pretty good.
Yeah, you ain't never gonna see me put it in my yard.
But we know what it is.
Yeah, we know what it is, right. Though. We know I ain't ashamed of it per se, but I'm not. I think to me that's inviting some stuff to your front doorstep. If you kind of put that stuff kind of on your car, in your yard and stuff like that, because if you hear me about it, I'll give you some context around it, right? Because it's you got two different type of people. You got your Trump supporters that are kind of redneckish, and that's kind of dope, what I'm saying, spew that type of stuff. Then you have people that think more logically and have the other reasons why they kind of mess with Trump. And so if you I go that way, at least you're gonna be face to face, so we can actually talk about it,
right.
And not just me putting something in my yard and now you thinking I'm, what I'm saying, one of the people you see on TV being all racist and misogyn and bigotry and all this stuff. And so you have the right to assume whatever you want to assume without any context. So I just think putting that stuff on your car in front of your house is, what I'm saying, because you don't know how some people will react because they have no context to put on what they see right in front of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but I will be ready though for this thing.
You already know what I did or didn't do.
I already know.
I mean, like I said, this is not to tell everybody what to do or how to lean. When I stopped having to pay taxes 3 or 4 times. Now, don't get it twisted. Every time a bill is brought up, where they say, do you all want this to happen in your community or do you want that? I definitely vote on policy. I definitely vote on no, I don't want this in my neighborhood. No, I don't want this in my city or my state. No, y'all can't take my guns away. I'm definitely voting on that. Now, you talking about voting on a representative to stand for me, like, I'm straight. I'm active in my own community. I don't need nobody to stand for me to represent me. You see what I'm saying? Like, in certain things, I do need an agent. I don't need an agent when it comes to that. Yeah, if I go overseas right now, and this is the bullshit, we went to war for taxation without representation. Because Britain was trying to tax us for tea. And y'all are 7,000 miles away. And that's unfair. But now you got a guy like Wesley Snipes who essentially had to be on house arrest for 3 years because he did not pay taxes on films that he filmed in Singapore, in Bangkok, in China, in Africa. And he got paid by companies that were over there, and y'all wanted to tax him because he's an American citizen, even though he didn't make that money over here. Y'all gonna tax him for that. And the two things he did wrong was, one, he had his tax person who was supposed to be paying his taxes, who wouldn't. But then he also thought, well, I filmed this over in China. I ain't got to pay taxes for that. Because this was a Chinese company for something I did in China, not in America. Y'all are going to make me pay taxes for something I did on foreign soil? How is that right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so, but y'all do that. Now, think about this. Now, again, this house that you're paying for, once you actually pay it off, you don't own it. Because they're going to make you pay taxes for the land. You buy the land, you don't own it. They're going to make you pay. And if you die, they're going to try to take it from your kids. So now the way the system is set up is to get over on you and to screw you. So now, again, I can't stand with that. And as a person of faith, as a believer, my first priority, if I'm really about that life, my first priority is to push and to stand for the kingdom of the Most High. That is what I'm supposed to stand for and represent. Not anything else. Anything else is irrelevant.
Yep.
I am supposed to seek first the kingdom of heaven and all its righteousness, and everything else will be added unto me. Not anything else first. I can't be concerned. The rich young ruler wasn't concerned about the tax breaks. Well, he was, but what did the Messiah tell him? What did Yahushua say to him? Give up everything you have and sell it to the poor, and come follow me. Now, a lot of us are like, okay, well, what about this tax write-off? What about my kids? What about this? And what did the Messiah tell him? If you're concerned about that, you can't follow me. And what did his disciples say? His disciples said, well, we did just what you said. We gave it all up. We ain't worried about that. And he said, guess what? You're going to get everything that you gave up in this life and in the life to come. But the problem is so many of us concerned about holding on to that. And it's like a lot of believers, we disregard the Old Testament. But if the Old Testament is invalid, then the Messiah is invalid. The Messiah is valid. What did Christ quote all the time? It wasn't the new. The new didn't exist. He quoted the old. If you go look up all of his quotes, everything came from the Old Covenant, the Old Testament. So the Old Testament is not invalid. He said, I didn't come to destroy it. I came to fulfill it. We live in an age now where it's like, oh, well, that's Old Testament. No. Paul said the Old Testament is our schoolmaster. It's there to teach us. Look at that as an example of how we are supposed to govern ourselves and follow. Now, of course, we don't take cows and sacrifice them. No, why? Because Christ is the perfect sacrifice. So we got to understand the fulfillment of certain things, but we need that because why? We say he's the God of who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Where is that at? That ain't in the new. If Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is invalid, then the Messiah is invalid. Because all of that was prophesied through them. So we can't get rid of the old. Because that's what validates who he is.
Yeah.
That it was prophesied he was going to come through David's line. So now if we say, oh, well, that's Old Testament, well, then we're saying then he's invalid. Because that's where it came from. Even when he stood on the mountain, who was standing there with him? It said he was standing out there with Moses and Elijah.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so again, so what was God saying? No, all of this is valid. You don't invalidate that. All of that is important. You see what I'm saying? And so now, again, we have got to come to a place where if I am really about that life, if I'm really committed to that, then I really got to be about that life. If I'm concerned about the other stuff, then I can't use and say, oh well, I'm doing this for him. No. If I'm doing it for him, because he gave us a template, the rich young ruler. I got everything. But guess what? I'm serving you. I've been obeying your word. I've been following all your statutes. He said the only thing you need to do is all this stuff you've been building up, get rid of it and come follow me. And it said he put his head down because he was thinking about how much money he was making. He was thinking about his status. He was thinking about how much wealth he had attained. Yeah. And it said that he never was able to come back and follow him again. And he said if only he had gave up everything and followed me, he would have gotten everything he lost, and he would have gotten more. And the mistake most of us make, we get so caught up, oh, Trump talking about he going to save us. He ain't our God. He ain't my representative. So now if I'm really about that life, I can't be concerned about no tax break and the economy and all that, because that can change like that. The scripture says that the king's heart is in the Lord's hands. He turns it like the rivers of water, whichever way he desires. So it don't matter who it is. If I'm really about that life.
Don't get me started, Rag. Don't get me started.
And like I said, but that's why I don't.
Yeah.
Because I understand that. So it ain't. I'm not saying if you want to do that, hey, I'm not finna say you going to hell or you going to heaven. That's your choice. Yeah. But to the same token, for people to respect the right that, oh, okay, man, Rag got a revelation. I might not have that same revelation. But if I got a revelation, respect that revelation. And don't clown me because I got an understanding in the revelation that I've sought out. And I was on the other side.
Yeah.
I campaigned for Obama. I campaigned for Kerry.
Yeah.
I campaigned for Al Gore. You see what I'm saying? Like, I did all that.
Yeah. Just do what you are convicted to do. Whichever side of the aisle that is. You know what I mean? But that's it, man. I got some stuff I got to do. Actually, as soon as we get out of this time.
Man, I already know it.
Soon. So, y'all, till next time, continue with that executive mindset.
And most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Ow.